How would you like to live amongst the trees, amongst nature, and escape that fast-paced city life? Well, then, allow me to introduce this brand new community. It's a little over 500 acres. It's called Nolina. Now, I've been to this community twice this year. The first time I was in January when I went to the grand opening for the community itself, Nolina. And then I went to it last month in June of 2024 for another grand opening for one of the model homes for these builders. Now, there's 4 builders currently building in this community. We have Perry Homes, we have Westin Homes, Taylor Morrison, and Chesmar Homes. And the beautiful thing is that they're all next to each other. These are all the model homes for all the different builders. Some builders have more than one model home to tour, but this is something easy you can do in one day. And right across the street, you could definitely check out the amenity center and the amenity pool and the event center. And that's one thing I really liked about this community from the jump, was that the developer took the initiative to build the amenity center and the pool at the beginning. Sometimes the developers kind of save that for the middle or towards the end. So if you're moving in early, you're going to just have to wait. But if you move in now, because not enough people know about Nolina, you're going to almost have the pool to yourself. And how cool would that be? And as you can see, there's a lot of, once we get into these nice aerial shots, you're going to see like this, how many walking trails they're going to be having. They're not done with all of them yet, but that's something to look forward to, because it's coming. Right, here's a beautiful shot of the pool, almost a resort style pool. You have the canopy there for some shade. You have like a little water park there with the flowers, kind of like a little splash pad, and then the amenity center, which is where they're going to have events. And I'm sure you can rent it out for your own personal private events, but it's a beautiful, beautiful building. So here is a really good shot of just how much dirt they've moved, how many future lots they have available. So if you're a home buyer and you are very particular and you really want a very prime location where maybe your home hugs the green belt, or maybe you don't want any backyard neighbors, or maybe you want to be at the end of a cul-de-sac so you can have that huge backyard or that really long driveway, then you're going to be able to have that here in Nolina. Now, one thing that you'll see on the map, especially if you're doing your research right now as a home buyer in this area, that you'll probably come across Santa Rita Ranch, you'll probably come across Palmer Ranch and Morningstar. Those are some of the surrounding communities here, but all of those communities are very well established. They're almost in their final phases of building. So you're not going to have the opportunity for many prime locations unless you're looking for a resale home. But there's advantages and disadvantages to that. But here in this community, even though it's a little bit further out than Santa Rita Ranch or say Morningstar, the trade-off is you're going to be able to get that prime lot location. And as we fly through here, you could see, and I'll point it out here when I see it, but some of those prime locations where you're at the end of a cul-de-sac, you just have that humongous yard. And they're going to be building out here for, I would say, the next couple of years, because it's a little over 500 acre community. I'm a little unsure about how many homes exactly are going to be built out here, but I mean, you could just see from just a drone shot how much dirt they've moved and how much homes they haven't built yet. So they still have a lot more construction going to happen. So Chesmar Homes has 15 floor plans available. Their homes start in the high 300s at $399,990, and their square footage for their floor plans range from 1,700 to 3,000 square feet. So chances are you'll be able to find a home that's that meets your needs with that kind of square footage. So check out this drone shot so you could just see how much space and future lots they're going to have. So imagine having that corner lot right there. That where you could have that green belt for your home. Now, keep this in mind. 2 drawbacks I've been noticing for people when I've talked about this community is that it's the distance. It does seem like kind of far out there, the commute, and this community belongs to the Florence ISD school district. But if you look at my earlier videos, I did like a little side-by-side comparison to the Leander, Liberty Hill, and Florence school districts. And I show you that their ACT and SAT scores are within the same ballpark within those 3 school districts. But the big positive, the big advantage that Florence school district has that Liberty Hill and Leander does not, is that Florence, because there's a lot of farmers nearby, they get a lot of fresh food that's local to the farmers, right? So they have this farm fresh food as part of their school lunch program. And you could see it in the numbers because there's a lot more students that participate in the school lunch program in the Florence School District than Liberty Hill or Leander. And I did a whole side-by-side comparison. I'll link those videos in the description so you can have a look for yourself. But that's I think something to take note and to see if that is a deal breaker for you or not. But I think I did it. I presented a very good case as to why that shouldn't be a major deal breaker because the numbers don't lie. And as far as the distance from how far this is, it's only like another 10 minutes from Santa Rita Ranch. So if you were looking at Santa Rita Ranch, if you just go 10 more minutes north on Ronald Reagan, you're going to hit Nolina. And the one thing about and another huge advantage to that is that not enough people know about Nolina yet. There's so much inventory that they have right now because of a lack of marketing and lack of just awareness for people because it's that new that you can be able to take advantage of some of the pricing, right? When I did my analysis of like home prices between the price per square foot and between here and Santa Rita Ranch, you can get a better deal here. In part because not enough people know about it. So their prices have been dropping since I came in January till now. I've been getting all the email traffic from both all the builders, and their prices have been dropping. And what's been going up are the incentives. So they have some amazing incentives that are I feel confident in saying that probably would beat the competing neighboring communities because they haven't just had enough people buy the homes here yet, right? Because people see it for face value that it's far and that belongs to the Florence ISD school district. But if you watch my video, you'll see why that is a positive instead of a negative. But the pros being that you can get a prime lot location. You can get probably a better price per square foot here, and you can get probably better financial incentives right now at least, because they are really trying to get more people out here. They're trying to do and how they're doing that is with these financial incentives to help with the buy down the interest rate, or maybe help pay for some closing costs, or you could use it to help pay for some home upgrades. It's flexible cash in that sense, so you can use that to make it make sense for your current financial situation. So this is what I mean. You see how this is at the end of a cul-de-sac? You see this home with a humongous backyard? That's what you can look forward to and you possibly get in this community because it has so many new lots that are still being built, right? Look at how huge that backyard is compared to the other homes, especially if you're not on like a straightaway you're not on a cul-de-sac. You're just kind of on a main road in the neighborhood. You're going to have a standard kind of backyard, and you're going to feel very close to your neighbors. But that's what these prime lots are still available. And sometimes you can get a very long driveway. I've seen from these cul-de-sacs. So if you have a lot of cars, we can definitely see if we can figure that out, depending on how the builders have broken up each of these lots. But that's a huge plus. The tax rate here is a little bit on the high end. 2.51 isn't the best, but we can make the numbers make sense because with that interest, with the incentives, we can help buy down that interest rate. That's going to help increase your purchasing power and lower your monthly mortgage. If we can get you a very competitive rate, that can help kind of offset the 2.51% tax rate. So we can talk about more of that in depth with the lender. I can share with you a little bit of knowledge I have during our consultation. And let me quickly talk about that. So the consultation is super important. That's how we put our best foot forward in the process because that's when I ask you a bunch of questions. My consultations usually run about an hour long. I'm asking you a bunch of questions. We're doing like this nice little self-discovery on top of getting to know one another a little bit better, so you can put the voice and the video to an actual face when we're talking, and we can figure out what your exact wants and needs are and what your deal breakers are. Because if this community isn't a right fit, because maybe it's out of your budget, or maybe it's just you drove to Nolina and you're like it's a little too far, then we can see if we can find another community elsewhere, because there is something here in Williamson County, here in Austin, because there's so much new construction happening that I feel very confident in saying that we can find a home that checks all the boxes for the right price. Now, if you're a buyer and you're looking to buy within the next 30, 60 days, then you are in luck because you could take full advantage of the incentives that each one of these builders is offering, and we can definitely go tour we can tour several of these model homes so you can get a good feel as to what what impresses you, right? And then once you fall in love with the home, once you fall in love with the floor plan, once you fall in love with the actual community, then we can figure out the financing stuff. Then we can figure out what the incentives are, because keep in mind that all these builders know what their incentives are that they're competing with. And I know I've seen it firsthand that they're not going to let the incentives kind of be a deal breaker for you to just go over to the competition because they offered a little bit more in that as far as incentive, right? They will match it for the most part. I just want you, that's why I always kind of go in that order. Fall in love with the floor plan first, fall in love with the actual house and the community, and then we'll figure out the incentives, because I know the builders will not let something as small as like an incentive be the deal breaker for you, moving on with the competition. So again, Nolina is in Georgetown, Texas. It's a little bit northwest of Georgetown, and there's a lot of construction happening in this area. Oh, before I forget, if you want to live that modern family life, meaning where you want to have your house and you want the grandparents to be, far enough where they can, where it's not super convenient to come visit, but close enough where you can pick up the phone and you can have a babysitter within like 15-20 minutes. There are neighboring communities, Sun City and the Regency, just to name a few, where these are 55 plus communities where you can have the in-laws or the grandparents stay, and you can live here in a brand new home. And these are all new construction. Sun City, I believe they're not doing so much. I think they've been done, but the Regency, if you want a brand new home, is where that's brand new, and that's Santa Rita Ranch too. That just opened up. Like they've been building, but the amenity center, I think they had the grand opening within the last couple of months, if I'm not mistaken. So there's options for you for that, and I know I have personal friends that have moved out to this area for that reason, because now you can have a brand new home and have your extended family nearby as well. So if all this is speaking to you and it checked a lot of boxes, it's within your budget, let's definitely schedule a time to talk. I have all my stuff linked in the description. But if say you're a buyer and you're looking to buy maybe in 2025 next year, I would still love to hear from you. I think the more time we have, kind of the better, because I really see this business as building relationships and actual friendships, not just, hey, it's a one and done. So I would love to get to know you. And then since we have the luxury of time, we can really fine tune and seeing like maybe what's currently stopping you. Is there an obstacle that we can overcome together? Remember, I don't work by myself. I work with a lot of smart people in the lending side, in the credit repair side. So you don't have to Google everything yourself and go at this alone. There are people like me out there who work with a bunch of smart people, and you can actually talk to a person so we can figure it out together. Okay, so I'm going to wrap things up for this video. I really appreciate you for watching. Again, my name is Omar Pineda. I'm your Austin realtor with eXp Realty. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up with all things new construction. Remember, these incentives are very time sensitive. So when I post a video, and I post them weekly, I do that so you don't miss out. So subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and like the video. And I appreciate you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.